With you or without you, and we're talking about the Congress. The president vows to act alone if needed to implement his agenda. But does President Obama's threat to issue more executive orders show that his goal of ending partisan politics is really not succeeding? Let's get into it with Juan Williams, a Fox News political analyst, also Jonah Goldberg, editor-at-large of National Review Online and a Fox News contributor. So Mr. Obama, Juan, is saying that if Congress will not go along with the things that he wants to do, he'll just make an end run around Congress, issue executive orders whenever he can. Good idea or no?
It's his only idea at the moment, John. He's a frustrated man, and I was actually worried that yesterday he would come out and be pretty resigned about the difficulty in dealing with an unpopular Congress and attack that Congress. But I don't think that's what he did. I think he benefited from the idea that there are such low expectations for what he can do given the congressional intransigence, especially among the Tea Party Republicans in the House, and simply said, here are some steps that I want to take, things that we can do. The only real direct threat was to say he would veto any effort to place further sanctions on Iran at this moment.
Yeah, Juan, let me stick with you for just a second because, you know, unpopular Congress, yes, but each of its members has been duly elected just as he has, and they all have ideas and constituents to serve. Why not, you know, try to bridge some of these differences and work together?
Well, that's exactly, I think, the tone he tried to set last night, John, which is unity, that, you know, we have differences, but we have to work together. Year of action. Let's not, progress. History doesn't stop, and I will not stand still. But the fact is that people do go beyond politics. And right now, I think that the reason that Congress is in such disrepute with the American people is it's just become an arena for more and more politics, endless finger pointing, and not getting anything done. I think the president indirectly was trying to say to the American people he doesn't want to be part of that mess.
Well, you say, Jonah, that the president has turned off a lot of independence through his actions thus far, and that's part of the problem that he faces now.
Right. First of all, this idea that he's going to use the executive power of the presidency is not exactly a new idea. They've been talking about doing this. They've been doing it in certain respects for years now. So in some ways, all they're doing now is it shows you the paucity of ideas and a paucity of an agenda, that this is what they're falling back on, is to simply brag that the president has the power to do these small ball things unilaterally. But on the biggest issue of his entire presidency, he acted entirely unilaterally. The executive branch was entirely in control of Obamacare, and they completely fumbled the rollout of it. And so I'm not sure that bragging about how he's going to continue to go his own way whenever the Congress doesn't, agree with him, is all that useful to him. I think really what he's doing here more than anything else is simply sort of, as Bill Clinton did, saying that he was still relevant. He is trying to make it sound as if he's still in charge of things, when really this White House is basically at sea, doesn't know what to do, doesn't know how to do it. In last Sunday's Washington Post, they had a White House aide explaining that now that the election is over, they really don't know how to craft an agenda without doing it in opposition to Republicans. That's who they see themselves as, is simply the people stopping the barbarian Republicans.
Well, we are going to continue to watch, obviously, as the president tries to implement some of these things that he talked about last night. Jonah Goldberg, Juan Williams, good to have you on. Thanks for sharing your thoughts.
You're welcome, Jim.